guys, today I'm going to talk about some of my favourite video games. I don't want to do the whole, I'm going to do a slightly different video today thing that everyone does because it really annoys me, but I am going to do a slightly different video today. I don't think I've ever talked about video games on this channel before. It's always been very book orientated, as you can tell, with the odd like vlog or personal thing chucked in. But yeah, I've been really into video games recently. I bought myself a Nintendo Switch in November, which has kind of really like kickstarted my love for video games again. And I've been watching some kind of video game YouTubers. One of my favourites being Wood from Beat 'em Up, so I'll leave his channel down below. He does a lot of Nintendo Switch videos. But yeah, I've just been really into video games, but I have always loved them. I've had pretty much every Nintendo console for quite a while now, as well as like an Xbox and stuff. So I just wanted to talk about some of my favourite video games. They're completely random, and I'm not saying these are the best video games because these are just ones that I personally have a connection to for like nostalgia reasons or just because I really enjoyed them. It's a pretty random list really from a number of different consoles. It's not in any order, but I just thought it might be interesting for some of you guys, so let's just get into it. First one on the list is quite a recent favourite, and that is Yoshi's Woolly World, which I played on the Wii U. But this game is basically like you follow Yoshi, well you play as Yoshi, but he's like a little yarn version of him, and you can collect like different blocks of yarn in different levels to kind of unlock new yarn Yoshis, and this was just adorable. Like everything about this game is amazing. It's adorable, the music's great, the levels are really good, like they're so well designed and varied. And I think I also just really love this game because me and Amy played it pretty much entirely together in our university house. I remember we stayed up until like 2 in the morning to finish it from like on like the last day we were in the house before we moved out or something crazy like that. So I have a lot of fond memories attached to it, partly because of those sorts of reasons. But yeah, I just love this game. It's adorable, and it kind of sparked my love for the whole like scrolling left to right kind of platformers or whatever they're called, because I don't know, I kind of found those a bit boring with Mario and stuff. They felt a bit samey. But this game is just one of my absolute favourites. I love it so much, and the Yoshi game for the Switch is one of my like most anticipated games of the year. Next one, or this kind of series, is one that I played on the Xbox 360, and that is Fable 2 and 3. I put both because I can't really pick between them. Might be a slightly unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people think the Fable games got really banned, they hate Fable 3, but honestly I've played Fable 3 so many times. It's like a game I always come back to, same with Fable 2 actually, because just an open world RPG, like this kind of fantasy type world, and you have like choices you make throughout the game, and the choices you make affect what happens in the future, but also you can be like, you start to physically look good or evil. So if you're like 100% good, you'll have like a halo, and if you're really bad, you'll have like horns and stuff. And in Fable 3 the choices you make really like affect who lives and dies, because you basically become the king or queen, and the choices you make affect how many people survive, which I just thought was a really cool concept. Yeah, I just love these games so much. Again, I love the music, I love the storyline, everything about them. It's just wonderful. As a side note, I also really loved Oblivion on the Xbox 360. I put in like a good 100 hours into that. Really loved that game, but I never did finish it, and I've never played Skyrim because I've always been like, I want to finish Oblivion first. But honestly, I can see myself just getting Skyrim for the Switch quite soon, and then kind of just letting Oblivion go, because I don't know if I'll ever finish it now, and I put in so many hours, like I had my fun with it. So Oblivion also makes this list, but I just prefer Fable for some reason. The next one is Animal Crossing on the DS and 3DS, because I used to play it on the DS with my brother all the time, having fond memories of us in like long car journeys to the Peak District, like just playing it constantly. I remember he hired me to be his gardener, so he paid me like 10,000 bells a week to come into his garden, and I would just like, well, come into his village, and then I would just like water all the flowers, plant the flowers, pick the weeds, because he couldn't be bothered to do any of that. And then the 3DS version, New Leaf, I remember me and Amy literally walked in the rain from college, like it was proper chucking it down. We walked into town through this like torrential rain to go and get this game because we were so excited, and I still play New Leaf all the time. Like I've got the golden watering can now, but I still want to catch all the fish and do everything. I filled up the museum, which I'm really proud of, but partly that they made it easier in New Leaf. But I just love this game so much. Again, the music just makes me feel so like peaceful and happy. And I just need a new Animal Crossing game on the Switch because it will just make my life. Like this series is just, I have a lot of nostalgia attached to it, but I also just love it so much. The next one is partly the reason I even thought to make this video, and that is Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo Switch. Honestly, I got a Nintendo Switch because of Super Mario Odyssey, which isn't on this list because I love it and I played it loads and I thought, oh, this is great. Then I got Zelda, and it just took over my life. Like, I've liked Zelda in the past. I played Twilight Princess a lot, didn't finish it though, but Breath of the Wild is like, it's like my Ocarina of Time, you know, like it is my Zelda game. I love everything about it to death. Like, it's just this huge open world, it's ridiculously huge, you can do anything you want in any order, and I just love it. Like, I've played it for like at least 70 or 80 hours. I still haven't defeated Ganon in the castle. I don't even have all the divine beasts yet. And honestly, it's probably my favourite game of all time. I don't even have the words to describe how much I love this game. But honestly, everything about it is perfection in my mind. And it's also really opened the gates of Zelda to me. Like, I've now gone back and bought like older Zelda games, and I'm really, really loving those as well. It's just made me a Zelda like super fan. Like, I now have like the mugs and the figurines. That's all I really have to say, because words fail me. But honestly, it's the best game I've ever played, and I don't see how anyone cannot enjoy it, because it's just the most well crafted, well thought out game. And I love it. I love it. The next one is Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise, which I've played on the Xbox 360 a lot. I haven't played it for a really long time, but again, it's just a game I always come back to. It's kind of a bit quirky and weird. It's that game which a lot of people had, the first one at least, and they liked it, but they kind of got bored of it. But it really sucked me in. I found it so relaxing. It was kind of like Animal Crossing, but in a different way. You have like this garden, and you have to have certain requirements for different like pinata animals to want to visit your garden and then to become a resident. And then you get this kind of snowball effect of like, oh, you need this many of this plant to get this moth, which will then make this mouse come in, which will make this lion come in, and it's a very like planned out game. And that game has just taken hours of my life away, and I need to get back into it, because I got to the point where I got a Rorio, which was like always the goal, because he was a lion and he was just so cool looking. The last time I played it, I did finally get one, which made me so happy. Yeah, nothing's really happened with this game series for about 10 years now, and I'm still really hoping that they release a sequel one day, because I mean, I'm happy just playing Trouble in Paradise, but I would love a sequel with like loads of new features and animals and stuff, because this game is just so good. I'm going to run through the next few a bit quicker so this video isn't too long. But I also have Mario Kart, specifically Mario Kart Wii, but honestly I had Mario Kart on like every single device since the GameCube, and I just always love it. It's always a game that I play with friends. Like, I remember playing Double Dash with my like childhood friend who lived a few doors down. We played it loads, and then playing like the DS one with my brother, the Wii one with my friends Amy and Ezra, the Wii U one with my uni housemates, and now I've got the Nintendo Switch one as well, which I played with like my brother and my boyfriend. And yeah, I just have a lot of nostalgia to this series. I think it's great. I think it's a great racing game, and also I'm pretty good at it now. Another really random one which probably doesn't fit with the rest on this list, but that is Skate 2 on the Xbox 360. I've always really liked skateboarding games. I've had like Simpsons skateboarding, Tony Hawk, like I've always played them when I was younger, to the point where I really wanted a skateboard when I was younger, but my mum and dad wouldn't get me one because I was so clumsy. They were like, you're just going to really hurt yourself. But I was like, I don't want to do tricks, I just want it as a mode of transport, because I was really into skateboarding briefly. Partly just because I really enjoyed skateboarding video games so much, and I think Skate 2 is the best of all of them. And again, I always kind of come back to it and replay it, because I just find it really fun. Then I love the entire Professor Layton series. I've especially got a new love for it because I played the first like 4 games when I was younger on the DS. Absolutely loved them. Really like, they just really stood out. I loved the puzzles, I loved everything about them. But then me and my boyfriend Robin started playing the 5th one, Miracle Mask, and since then we've gone back and replayed the first 4 together, and now we're going to play number 6, and he just bought me Lady Layton for my birthday. And just this whole series, like, it's just so delightful and pure, how it's all about being a gentleman, and like, I just love everything about it. The puzzles are really good. Like, they get a little bit repetitive when you play like 5 games in a row, but honestly there's always ones that stand out and really make you think, and it's just a great series. Like, everything about it, the art style, the music, the storylines, they've always got a really good twist in that you don't see coming. Yeah, I just really love this series. The next one is Pokemon. I'm a massive Pokemon fan, if you didn't know, and my first love for Pokemon was Pokemon Pearl on the DS. That was my first Pokemon game, and honestly I put like 500 hours into that game. I was obsessed. I wanted to get the national dex. I used to trade with people on the official Nintendo magazine forum, and it was my life when I was like 11, 12. I've never gone back and played the earlier games, but from then onwards I've bought every single Pokemon game. I really enjoyed Soul Silver and Pokemon X. They both really stood out to me, and I am slightly losing love with this series. I wasn't overly impressed with Pokemon Sun, and I haven't bought Ultra Sun or whatever it's called, because I haven't even finished Sun, because they do get a little bit repetitive and samey. I'm really looking forward to like the Pokemon RPG that's rumoured for the Nintendo Switch, and I hope that it kind of finally takes the game a step up. The last two on my list, again, are more recent ones. The first one is Undertale, which only just makes this list because I have only played it the once, and it's not a game that I even own myself, but my boyfriend Robin got me into it, and I just really love the whole concept. It's basically like this sort of pixel art PC game, and you play as a human kind of in this underground world of animals. Basically it's kind of about like segregation, like the humans and the animals were like at war, and then they're all kind of underneath this mountain, and you're basically trying to save them all. And the tagline for the game is like, the game where no one has to die. So basically in every battle there's a way to like talk yourself out of it and not hurt anyone, and it's, yeah, what you do affects like any future playthrough. So you can play it multiple times, but choices you make in your first one kind of constantly repeat. And yeah, it was just a really interesting concept, and honestly the story was so good. Like I think I cried at the end. Like it really gets you in the feels. It was just a really well thought out game, and yeah, I just really loved it. And the last one on this list I've literally been playing in the past like week or so. It wasn't on this list when I first come up with the list to say I was going to film this video, but yeah, in the past week I've become obsessed, and that is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Honestly, when I first saw this game I thought, oh, it's not for me. I'm not bothered about like strategy fighting games. I don't really like Rabbids. Like I'm not going to get that, it looks a bit rubbish. But then I've been watching like video game YouTubers, and I've heard a lot of people kind of raving about it, so it was really good. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll give it a go actually. And honestly, it is just so much fun. I cannot get over how much fun I'm having with this game. It's also like gets pretty challenging. At first I was like, oh, it's good, but it's quite easy. But honestly, some of them I'll spend hours on one level just because I cannot do it. But I love everything about it. Like the Rabbids are hilarious. They're really funny, dressed up as like the Mario characters, and I really love that. I really love the whole kind of strategy element of it. It's almost like chess. It's like you have to think of what they're gonna do, and you take it in turns to make moves, and you're just trying to kill like the other enemies, and it's just really good. Like it's such a well thought out game. You can tell they put loads of effort into it, and I'll definitely be getting the DLC once I've finished the main storyline, and I really hope they carry on with this series because honestly it is just so much fun. So those are all of my favourite video games. There was more on the list that I didn't decide to include that I really love, things like Simpsons Hit and Run and Zelda Twilight Princess, Sonic Adventure Battle 2. Like I've honestly been a video game fan for a long time now, and it's just something I don't really talk about. And I think my reading normally drops off when I'm really into video games, so I think like I had an awful reading month in November when I got my Nintendo Switch, because all I did was play Zelda with all my free time. But yeah, I really love video games. I'd love to hear down below some of your favourite video games of all time from like any console. I'd love to know, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!